Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Okay. All right. Wish you Happy New Year.
I wish you the same and all Nigerians.
Okay. Okay. So how have you been?
So far, so good. I have been traveling and I just came back to the country 2 days ago.
Okay. So how has the movement been?
The movement is really spiraling in progress in terms of spiritual development and helping others to be able to become more aware of the need to become good people for themselves, for their families, and for the future.
Okay. All right. Now we want to look at human being. We know the history as in, I'm not sure the history is different from the Hare Krishna movement. God created man, then created woman, created this, created that. You believe in all that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, human being, we create enmity for ourselves. And I believe that animals too, to create, enmity for themselves. Because you see, lion chasing that, that chasing that, and I feel it's a general thing. But why is it so rampant with us? Why don't we like ourselves?
This is a very important, rather very pertinent question, because all along in the human race, we find out we have been struggling with what we normally would refer to as enemy, or we think this is my enemy and that is my enemy. But who is our real enemy? Who is our real enemy? So the ancient classical literature called the Bhagavad Gita, in this very ancient literature, there is a dialogue between General Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra and his mentor, the Supreme Personality of God, the Lord Krishna. So in that dialogue also, this issue came up that Arjuna was asking that what is it that forces people or forces us, we humans, to act sinfully? What is it? Because we find that in a number of cases, people have very good intentions and they are very objective. They are very good people, but sometimes they get overwhelmed by negative actions. So, what is it that causes people to act sinfully, as if by force? So, in response to this question, Lord Krishna mentions that it is lust, L-U-S-T. That is our greatest enemy. And this lust is having the mind, the sensory modalities, as its repository. And sometimes we act sinfully. We go to the law court, or we act very criminally, and we go to the law court to plead that I am guilty with reasons. But, the judge will want to hear what is your reason for being criminally involved. And they say, I was pushed by the devil. And the justice system don't accept this as an excuse. And who is that very great enemy, or what is that great enemy that is pushing us to act sinfully? Lord Krishna mentioned it is lust only. And if we know where this enemy has positioned himself, then we could be more cautious. It is difficult to deal with this enemy. Why? Because the enemy is endemic. It's living in us. It's an endogenous enemy. It's an intrinsic enemy. It's living right in us. And therefore, we need to really make some evaluation of the situation and figure out how to move forward.
Okay, so for us to move forward, the enemy, we say, is the devil. So the devil is living inside us. So now we have the devil and the Holy Spirit living inside us. We have our conscience that tells us that this is good and that is bad. So why do we always agree to that evil side?
Yeah, this is what happens. The lust pushes us. And keep in mind, the lust is the opposite polarity of love. Now, originally, the living entity or the spirit soul, which is part and parcel of God, we call him Jehovah, Allah, Oloro, Chineke, Abasi, we call God Krishna. That living entity, the soul, spirit soul within this body was originally when it originally entered into the material universe, the original love of the spirit soul on God or to God, the love for God, was transmuted into lust by dint of contact with the modes of passion. There are three gunas or qualities. There's the mode of goodness, there's the mode of passion, and there's the mode of ignorance. And there are characteristics for these modes. And the classical Vedic literature called the Bhagavad Gita, it gives us delineation based on the characteristic features of these modes. And therefore, we find that because that original love for God was transmuted or changed into lust, we find this is the dominant factor of practically in all spheres of existence. Even the so-called corruption we're talking about is impaired by lust. Lust does not simply mean someone is pushing after the opposite sex for a relationship or illicit deals or whatever. So it generates so many negative emotions, and therefore it is important for us to know that yes, we refer to the devil or whatever, but it's not that there is a person called a devil who is having some, the teeth is springing up this way and, he's just pursuing us all over the place. The uncontrolled mind, it is mentioned in the Gita, is our greatest enemy, and that is dominated by lust.
So how can we help ourselves?
Yeah, that's a good one. Now, how can we help ourselves? Now, it is mentioned, again, the same classical literature, that to be able to deal with this lust, we have to transform that lust into love for God. And that process of transforming lust into love is easily achievable by the process of bhakti, or by the process of devotion to God. When we devote our lives to God, when we concentrate on pleasing God, when we actually dovetail all of activities in the service of the Lord, the whole system of this bodily tabernacle becomes purified, and that lust is gradually transformed into love. That lust is gradually transformed into love of God. Okay. Therefore, we will reiterate, like I mentioned before, that people we should give some time. We have 24 hours. We should also give some time to glorify God. In fact, in the Bible, it is mentioned from the rising of the sun to its setting, we should call on the names of God. In the hadith of the Quran, it is also recommended, or is indicated, that the most wonderful names belong to Allah. Therefore, we should call on those names. In our own Vedic literature, it is mentioned that there is no other way to become purified, especially in this age of quarrels and anxiety. There is no other way than to constantly call on the names of God. And that is why you see those of us in the priestly order, in the Christian movement, we are always using this rosary to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And you see, even hippies, potheads, so sexomaniacs, they become transformed into sadhus or holy people. Experiment it. You're not going to be a loser.
So if you I believe you that if you continue to chant, the bad thoughts will not come to mind.
No, you become purified of these bad thoughts. This is the evidence. See, I've been into this system for 30 years. I've been celibate for the past over 30 years. I was born in this country from Bayelsa State.
I know.
So, what is good for the goose is good for the gander, man.
Okay. Now, let's look at the Hare Krishna movement. Where is it situated? Where can they get the movement? How can they be part of it?
Our temple right now in Lagos is at Ilopeju, and 23 Olu Egbeyemi Street off Coker Road, Ilopeju. So you could try to visit us, and the numbers to be able to reach out to us is
because I'm using my glasses. 070-660-11800. You have glasses on.
Yeah. My glasses are just meant for sightseeing, not for reading.
Okay, let me help you out.
Do the other justice.
Okay, 081-79-050-135.
And what you have done is called Agyata Sukriti. pious activities that you don't even think of.
Okay.
And you amass a lot of credit for that.
All right, thank you very much. All right, if you wish to get in touch with the Hare Krishna movement, they are situated at 23 Egbeyemi Street, Ilupeju, Obanikoro Bus Stop, Lagos. You can reach them to be part of...
Yeah, part of our counseling programs, temple worship. You can come for philosophy discussions, etc.
Okay, but then it isn't a must that you must be a part of...
No. I mean, it's for anybody walks into that place.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't need to be a registered member. No, it's not required.
Okay, so all you need to do is at least see what they are talking about. Hare Krishna means God. Am I right?
Sure.
All right. Okay, we thank you very much, His Holiness. Bhakti Vasudev Swami, we thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you.
And we wish you Johnny Mercy as you globetrot.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Yeah. Okay, we'd like to take a break now. When we come back, we'll continue with Fountain of Hosanna. So